What's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. I am waking up legendary right now with you, literally still wiping the sleep out of my eyes. Okay, if a boulder of sleep falls out of my eye during this show, don't mind me. Don't mind me. Okay, I had my face deeply embedded in some pillow here not too long ago, and it was a wonderful thing. But I am waking up legendary right along with you guys, and I am excited. Well, some of you around the world have already been up, but I am excited, as you guys can see by the title. And if you're just listening to this audio, we're going to be talking to Olivia and hearing how she went, basically from 0 to 150,000 followers on TikTok in 30 days. Okay. And how did she do it? Like, what's going on? What's her secret? How did she get involved in online marketing? So, all the way from Plymouth County, Massachusetts, Olivia, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Yes, you're so welcome. Thank you for being on and sharing your amazing journey here that you've been on over the past short little while. Seems like a lot's happened for you really fast online. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's kind of scary, not gonna lie. Very overwhelming. I had experience before, like working online, doing on Fiverr, but like once I went on social media, I didn't expect it to explode the way it did. And it was kind of scary a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Scary in the way of scared, overwhelming to have so many people like looking at you, or scary that, oh, this is taking off. I'm almost scared of success. Like now I might be on my path to success, and it's scary. It's scary in a new and different way. What do you mean it's scary?
I think it was more like overwhelming in the sense like everything took off so fast. Like I'm not afraid to like talk to people on camera. Like that's not a big deal to me. It was more like so many people started looking up to me when I had very little knowledge of what I was doing at the time. And I was kind of just putting out information. I was like, I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not like an expert on it yet. So it was just like everyone was reaching out to me and asking me all these questions. And I'm like, I'll get back to you. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, it was kind of, yeah. Like, I mean, since then, it's like forced me to learn a lot really quick. So I think that's kind of why like my success happened. But yeah, I wasn't ready for everyone to be bombarding me with questions on things that I had no clue the answer to.
Yeah. So, so many directions I want to go, but I want to just touch on the fact that I love how you just said that, hey, let me get back to you. I don't think people understand the power of just saying, I don't know, but I can find out. I talk about this with so many people so often, and with so many of you guys who are kind of struggling with your own form of, I call it imposter syndrome. It's kind of like, oh, I'm talking about success, but I don't really have a lot of success. In your case, it's like you people are asking you about success because of a vanity metric, right, of followers, right? But you don't really have the tons of experience. So there's kind of these different ways in which we feel like we either are, don't have the information, or maybe are even unworthy to, or just not ready to be talking about success in a certain way. And I think that just being ourselves and just being honest is the absolute best way to go about it, in a confident way. It's like,
100%.
like without the confidence piece, it's hard. But if I say, you know what, Olivia, that is a fantastic question, and I want to go check on that to make sure that I answer it right, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I first started my TikTok, it was more of like documenting my journey of everything I was doing, because I started my TikTok back in December. And at the time, I was just giving people tips about like Fiverr and stuff like that. And I was like kind of just showing them that sort of realm. And then once I started affiliate marketing, I started documenting that more. And that's when it really took off. So yeah, I'm still trying to just be open and honest with people about what I do. And I think a lot of people really appreciate that, because you get a lot of people out there that kind of just like the point, like, hey, this is this, but like you don't really give them like the information they're looking for.
Hmm.
So yeah, I agree 100% with that.
So you went through our challenge back in January.
Yeah, I finished in like the beginning of February, I think.
Is this was that your first experience or journey into affiliate marketing and learning about selling
Yeah.
information and stuff like that? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. So on Fiverr, I'm actually a copywriter on Fiverr and I do sales copy. So like
Uh-huh.
I had a general idea because I've had people like reach out to me about like, hey, can you write sales pages and like funnels and stuff like that? And I had no clue what that meant, but like I did some research on it. But yeah, this was kind of like my first real experience with affiliate marketing. I saw it on TikTok at first from like Daryl and Stacy and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then I watched a few YouTube videos on it, but I still had no clue really what it was.
Hmm.
So then I took the challenge, and that's, yeah, my first real experience.
Wow. So you kind of came in and went through our training and kind of got expanded your vision a little bit about what's possible, clarified some of the like definitions of what
Yeah.
things are and kind of how they work together, and then got into action. I mean, so many people take a course or go through education and then don't bridge that gap between then putting it into action. So what was that experience like for you, and why do you think you were did you do it right away, or and what did that look like a little bit? Help people understand how you went from the learning to the earning.
So what I did after was I joined a bunch of Facebook groups because like even after the challenge, like you get the basis information, which is awesome, but like it's still not enough to really like completely start like everything. So I joined a bunch of Facebook groups and I saw what people were doing, and then I'm like, okay, I'll make my own Facebook group and like just do freelancing tips because I know a lot about copywriting and stuff. So I did that, and then it kind of just built from there. I think I applied a lot of my skills that I learned before to actually marketing myself. But yeah, that's kind of how I bridged the gap. Was first with the Facebook group, and then I started well, I already had the TikTok account, but I'm like, I'll just start posting a few videos and see what happens. And then I decided to make my Instagram too, kind of just to like spread myself out across platforms. And like I recommend everyone do that because you really don't know what's going to take off. For some people, Instagram does. For some people, TikTok does. And for me, it was TikTok. But I
Yeah.
made the Instagram and I kind of just posted like business tips because why not? And yeah, that's what I've been doing ever since. That's how I kind of bridge the gap between everything and just,
Yeah, you sort of leaned on the community a little bit. You
yeah.
combined the education with the community. Um, it, yeah. So that's important, and that's one of the pieces that we've updated a lot of pieces recently with is adding in case studies and adding in like different things, particularly in our blueprints, that kind of hey, here's how to do it. Hey, here's some other people that are doing it. Um, because I think that one other big challenge that people have is they get off into a rabbit hole or 10 or 15 rabbit holes. You get into a Facebook group, start getting hit up by a couple of people on Messenger, and it really becomes overwhelming for people to not get on 15 or 20 other people's agendas. How have you kept from getting on people's agendas in following shiny objects down shiny trails?
For me, it comes down to time management because I literally just don't have the time to do that. Like, I am in class from like 8 to 4 pretty much every day, and then I have swim after, and then I only have a few
Mm.
hours to work in my business. So for me personally, like, if I'm being honest here, it just comes down to the time crunch that I have. So like, I literally don't have the time to go down that rabbit hole. I
Yeah.
kind of just try and focus on one thing per like I write down everything I have to do for the day. So if I write down those stuff, then I kind of just try and focus on that stuff and get it done. And then if I have time, I might go down a rabbit hole every once in a while. But like, honestly, for me, it literally just comes down to I have a set schedule and I have to stick to it. Otherwise, I won't get the rest of my day done.
Yeah. No, time management so important, right? I mean, it's everything. I
Yeah,
mean, people value money more than time. It's kind of interesting, but money you can actually get more of. Time you can't, right? And there's the secret combination is when each hour that you work produces 10 times what you once earned, right? It's like
right.
where you begin to kind of experience that compound success. I call it sort of like compound interest over time. It just builds um, you don't have to work as hard each hour for the many dollars that you now make. So I think that that's a great tip, writing down everything that you need to do for that day. And what if you're, and do you order them in order of priority, Olivia? Like, this is the most important one thing that I need to get done,
Yeah.
or yes?
I do, and
Okay.
it's also based off time because like I have assignments due at certain times, so like I base it off of that as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much what I do. Um,
So let's talk about TikTok. You've gone on TikTok and you've really kind of experienced an abnormal amount of growth really quick. And I just want to be really clear with everybody about, what your expectation should be. First and foremost, for many years, this sort of growth didn't even exist on the internet. TikTok is sort of a platform that and Olivia, just doing copywriting now for a period of time. How long had you done that before?
from August till I still do it, but I started in
Okay.
August.
Okay, so you hadn't been doing it that long. So
Yeah.
if I can be, grandpa here for a second, in like 5 years ago, like there was no 150,000 followers in 30 days. Like that didn't exist. That wasn't a thing.
Right.
Now it's a thing. Like, and we've seen it happen. But if I think back to when I got started, you know, it's like, man, 150,000 followers or something that maybe you achieved after a decade. You know what I mean? Of doing like consistent ass hard content creation and good quality value based marketing. Um, so I just want to like put that out there for all of you folks who are now going to get a big old bad ridiculous case of comparisonitis with Olivia, thinking that, oh man, I really no I ain't even close to that, right? Um, in the same, so, and you even mentioned that before we started, there was a little bit of luck there, and so I think that that's appropriate to just say right up front. But there's also been other elements that have, my uncle said the other day, and I've heard this before, but it was cool to hear him say, luck is when, preparation meets opportunity. And I believe that that's true. I believe you've been preparing for this moment for a while. I believe all the things that you've done in school and all the things that you did with copywriting and all that have prepared you now for the success. It's just the opportunity presented, and you prepared for it. So talk to us through these last 30 days. What are some of the things that you did that didn't work? Or what are some of the things, give us your journey in a nutshell of what you've discovered works really well, and kind of how you create content on a daily basis now.
So what I do is I kind of just take it day by day. So a lot of people like to batch it in the beginning of the week. I don't like to do that personally because for me it doesn't feel like I like to document my journey more than like actually give out like videos of like pointing at the camera about like what affiliate marketing is. I have a bunch of those, but for me I kind of just like to take it day by day and see what happens because people are more interested in that is what I found. I also learned that like I guess the biggest thing I've learned is you obviously want to have those videos that go viral. So I try and have like one viral video per se for like every 5 videos I have of like genuine information I'm giving out to people. So there are some days where like I talk about builderalls. There's some days where I just kind of give, random information. And then there are other days where I post videos that I have a feeling will somehow get on the For You page for people. So that's kind
And
of my
what is
strategy.
that? When you say, when I create viral content on purpose, what can you kind of, what does that look like? What is viral content versus this other style of content that you're talking about?
So for me, viral content is anything that's under like 20, 15 seconds because people have such a low attention span nowadays that like you have to keep it short and sweet.
Oh.
I also base a lot of it off of people that I've seen like have success with videos. So within like the past, I don't do anything over like 2 or 3 days because typically those videos fade out. But like if you see people that have like bunches of views on certain videos, I try and like replicate the videos. Obviously like in my own way, but like similar content, stuff like that.
Yeah. Like
trending sounds.
the
Yeah, exactly.
style
Yeah,
of the
the
video,
style.
like what they're doing. There was a trend that was happening not too long ago. Maybe it's still popular, but where you kind of created a loop at the end of your video. So, or you started off with a loop, right?
Mhm.
Like, so when somebody would get to the end of the video,
It would start over.
it would start over, and you
Yeah.
didn't really know, as you were watching the video, you didn't really know when the video started. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like if I was to start recording, I might be like, and hey, get out of here. And then at the end of the video, I would be like, hey, honey. And then the beginning of the video would then be like, hey, get out of here. And it was just, so you'd end up getting 3 views or so from one person. And the reason why you make them 15 to 20 seconds, just so everybody's clear, is because one of the big things that TikTok is looking for is a full video view. Are people actually watching this video, or are they scrolling away after 2 or 3 seconds? That's a metric that tells TikTok that maybe people are not interested in this video, so we shouldn't move it to that next level of a bigger audience. Is that your understanding as well, Olivia?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, so you're doing short video, looking at other people whose videos are going viral and trying to sort of replicate that in your own way.
Mhm.
What else are some of the characteristics of a viral video for you?
I've learned that the trending sounds are huge, and a lot of people overlook that.
Hmm.
Literally, all you have to do is go to the add sounds button and then go to TikTok viral and just use those top 10 sounds,
Hmm.
because like TikTok is trying to flood the algorithm with all of those sounds right now. So like you have a higher chance of your video being shown on the For You page. So
So
that's a huge.
TikTok is actually trying to get as many videos as possible using like the same 10 sounds. Why do you think they're trying to do that?
I don't know, probably because like everyone starts doing random trends with those sounds. Like
I
I
got you.
Yeah, so I think that's the reason why, but I've learned that's a huge key. So anyone out there that's wondering why their video isn't going viral, I highly recommend at least trying out the sounds, because that for me that was a huge factor in why some of my videos got shown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And I also
actually,
learned that like you want to have higher quality content rather than higher quality videos. Like if you look at my videos, they're kind of crap, to be honest. Like the quality of the video itself is really bad, and like
mm,
the timing is off with a lot of the stuff, but like at this point I don't really care. I just kind of put them out there. But people are more interested in the content rather than the quality. Unless you're doing like dancing videos or like art videos, like nobody really cares. Like as long
mm.
as you have good quality content that like people are interested in, then like they'll watch your video and then they'll go from there.
So this is something that when we talk about good quality content, this ties in back to the original thing that we were talking about in the first couple of minutes, which is, how do I make good quality content? How do I develop, or how do I have valuable things to say, especially if I'm new and I don't feel like I'm particularly knowledgeable or successful? So, I mean, how would somebody who is new, or how did you um, find valuable things to say, like good quality content that was of value to other people?
So when I first started out, I just posted what I wanted to post. Like, and I mean I still do that, but you kind of just have to play around with a bunch of different things and just yeah, I literally just posted whatever in the beginning, and I was like, this is information on how to start a business. This is information on Fiverr, like just random information, and then look in the comments. Like people, if people ask the same question numerous times, then try and make a video on that question. A lot of my videos are actually based off of questions, and I think that's why people find so much value in what I'm saying, is because like they have those specific questions and they want them answered. So if you
Mm,
can answer those questions for people, and I mean like in the beginning, yeah, you're not going to really know what to post, but that's okay. Like it's not, you're probably going to put out like 20, 25 videos, and you might have success with some, so you can run with that. But yeah, in the beginning it's just kind of like playing around with everything, because nobody's gonna know. I mean, I'm still playing around with TikTok because it's constantly changing, but
yeah.
yeah, that's my biggest piece of advice. And then once you have those videos up, just see what people are asking, like write down the questions and then make some videos on them.
Yeah. And I think going back to like the point that you were making when I was like, so what's your strategy? And you're like, well, I just kind of like figure it out on a day-to-day basis. I almost feel like that's kind of like what people are looking for in a sense, simply because that's how people live their lives. Is
Yeah.
not everybody so rigid that they know exactly what they're going to be doing tomorrow and know exactly what tomorrow's going to look like. So here you are, you just kind of show up on their in their feed, and you're sitting there with your hair in a bun, or you kind of look like you're lounging in your bed, and you're just like, this is what's on my mind today. And hey,
Yeah.
did you, and then you throw in a business, like you tie the situation or your day into something that's valuable, a nugget, a tip, something that you're thinking about. And I think that spontaneity, that kind of randomness, I think keeps people on their toes. And I think that I think that people are more attracted to you if you look like you're just their friend who's sitting in a dorm room or sitting in their house just chilling out, versus like all made up and like
Right.
proper and looking all like perfect and shit. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
nobody can relate to that. Like, if I wanted to see that, I'd be watching TV and look at $1 million produced commercials, but nobody likes that shit anymore. Nobody
Exactly.
wants to see commercials. People want to hear real people talking. So did you realize that, or are you realizing that, or do you just not give a damn and that's how you're going to show up anyways, that people really are attracted to and want to hear real shit from real people?
No, I 100% agree with that. Like, that's kind of what I base a lot of my content off of, is because, like, I like to put myself in the shoes of people who are scrolling on TikTok. Like, I think a lot of people overlook that fact. Like, if you are scrolling on TikTok, do you want to stop and watch this video? Like, if I was scrolling as a 20-year-old, would I want to stop and watch this video? If I
Yeah.
was scrolling as a 60-year-old, would I want to stop and watch this video? And I think a lot of people just overthink the process too much. And I mean, I did in the beginning. I spent like probably an hour on one video, and then I'm like screw it. I don't care at this point. And then that's when I ended up going viral. And I think that's the mindset people have to have. And like, I'm a very type A person. You can ask my boyfriend, like he knows. But you kind of just have to have that like screw it mindset and just go for it sometimes, and then that's when it works out.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, as a marketer for over a decade now, literally my most every single one of my most successful campaigns, most successful everything that I've done has been when I just was like, screw it, I'm just going to start writing, or screw it, I'm just going to start recording, right? And then as I'm recording, right, the ideas come out, or I was like, holy shit, that was good, or whatever. And I'm like, even if that's not like the total finished, like for example, if I'm recording or writing a sales letter or something, or recording a piece of content, like the act of doing it gets the juices flowing for then the next piece of content, and then the next piece of content. And I think we drastically underestimate the value of the creativity and the sort of momentum that we get from just taking action. And I think that we also get confused with watching a course or reading a book is taking action. That's not taking action. That's watching a course. That's going through, and there's nothing wrong with learning. Reading and going through courses. We sell courses here. It's really important, but we don't design those courses for that to be the thing that you end up doing. That's not the result. The result is that you go out and you create shit. You do stuff. But here's the other thing, Olivia, not that you do it one time and it's like, open the heavens up and dump the gold coins on my head. Like, it's like building a business is consistent action
Yes.
every day, and throwing spaghetti at the wall and testing new things. And it seems like you've kind of got that piece figured out a little bit.
Yeah, I played around with the algorithm too, and I was like, hey, I'm not going to post for like 2 or 3 days and see what happens. And it's kind of shocking how less views you get, like how like there's so much less engagement. Like, that's the key, is like on any platform you have to keep posting, or like at least just create consistent content every single day. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like, just take a picture of something and post it on Instagram with a, cheesy little caption or something like that. It just keeps people engaged. So I agree
Yeah.
with you 100%.
No, it's crazy the type of consistency. Like even the show right now, we've got 194 people on. When we first started doing the show, I mean, there was 20 or 30 people at max. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Max. And now we've got this show. It's every day. We've got a couple of hundred people on, a couple of thousand total because people are jumping on and off, and then a couple of more hundred watch it on YouTube, couple of more hundred or thousand listening to it on like it's just consistency. It's building. It's just doing something over and over every day and building a little bit of a routine with it.
Mhm.
And I think that there is a lot of perfectionism and there's a lot of getting ready to get ready that takes place, and that never helps. It sometimes it helps in some situations, I guess, in life. I can't really think of anywhere like really the getting ready to get ready. Like I'm not saying don't take your taking your time can be good, but the getting ready to get ready, that whole mentality of I'm not ready yet. I'll do it next week, like when I know more, I'm more prepared or whatever, only leads to just it's actually called procrastination.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it's called.
Mhm.
And you seem to have like overcome that piece, and that trumps not knowing everything. That trumps not being experienced. That trumps not having tons of success. Like that, just getting into it and taking that level of action, not caring. So how do you deal with when somebody gives you negative feedback on something or says, "Oh, look at this," whatever, calls you a name or whatever? Like
Oh
how
God,
do you
okay.
deal with that?
All right, so I actually have a story and a half for you. So when I first started out, if you look on my TikTok, my most viral video that I have is about creating coloring books. Like you buy them from people on Fiverr. Like obviously you tell them that you're planning on like reselling them and stuff, but essentially you buy coloring books from people on Fiverr and then you resell them on Etsy. To make like passive income when people download them, digital downloads. So I made that video and I like essentially got in a war with artists on TikTok because they were like freaking out. They're like, "You're stealing from artists." Like, keep in mind, I don't actually do this side hustle. I just found it and thought it was super cool. And they're like, "You're stealing from artists. You're doing blah blah blah. This is all illegal. You're promoting this." And like, people are trying to like shut me down. Like, this isn't even like my regular content. It was just a video on a side hustle I found. It was so super cool. And I'm like, oh my God, is this what like childhood actors on Disney feel like when I first start out? Like all this hate and stuff like that. I'm like, this is terrible. Why am I doing this? Like I don't even on TikTok for like maybe a month and a half, 2 months at this point. And I was like, this is terrible. I hate this.
Wow.
Um, but like my boyfriend helped me out a lot. Like he was just like, you're never gonna like, you're making it once you have haters and stuff like that. And I'm like, I guess, but it still really sucks. I don't like being told this. They were like, "You're a terrible person. Like, we're gonna come on your lawn and put up posters and stuff like that." And I'm like, "I'm not doing anything wrong. Leave me alone." But yeah, I've definitely had my dealings with the haters.
Young people are so peaceful in their like threats and violence. If it was like a boomer, man, they'd be like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna blow. In millennials and like Gen Z or whatever your generation is, it's like I'm gonna come and put a sign on your lawn. It's so fun.
I
God,
know,
man.
but I was just like, why am I getting all this hate? I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, it was just, yeah. But that was my first experience with hate on social media. After that, I just get a lot of people that are like, "Oh, this is a scam." Like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm literally giving you other information besides just, I don't know. People are just they refuse
Yeah.
to look outside of they don't do their own research. That's my biggest thing that it like really pisses me off about people online is they don't do their own research. Everyone
Yeah.
asks me the same question and I have like 5 videos about it. Like scroll through my TikTok before you ask me the question. It's a waste of my time, it's a waste of your time.
That's never gonna change.
Oh, I know, but it's
It's
still
never gonna
super
change.
frustrating.
I've been doing this for 10 years plus, and when I say doing this, like affiliate marketing, put marketing with in having like that C2C content, that creator to consumer content, right? And it's like the same questions, man. It's the same challenges, the same things that come up, the same mental issues. I mean, this is why I can talk this stuff in my sleep backwards, hanging upside down, in the dark, is because it's literally once you understand the challenges of your target audience, once you've heard it for a couple of months, you basically you have the pains, the aspirations down. As a copywriter, this is valuable for you as well. And everything is copywriting, by the way, just so, in case you guys are wondering, like, what is copywriting? Is that something that's over here in marketing? No, everything's copywriting, because copywriting is essentially the words that you use to sell and persuade and magnetize yourself, pull them into your content, and then eventually convert them into a sale. And obviously that starts, and the original way that it was done was basically on pieces of paper that were mailed out to a mailbox. It's called direct mail, right? From business to consumer, right? That was how information was sold. Somebody would open up their mailbox, look at a thing, read it, get, excited about it, just like we watch a sales video, and then, go and sneak over to the cabinet and get their checkbook and mail a check back in. And then the person would send them their tape or their booklet or whatever they bought, right? And now the internet has sort of changed the game, but we still use those same principles in headlines and in emails and in various, and even in how we structure our videos, right? It's kind of like, there's kind of a formula. We've all got our own sort of rendition of it, right? I mean, Russell Brunson says hook, story, offer. I say what it was like, what happened, what it's like now. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these, but they're kind of all pain solution, pain, agitate, solution. There's all these different kind of formulas, but it's really a valuable thing when you do it for long enough that you hear the same questions come up, because it helps you to develop stories that you can tell in your content, and things that you can say that just sort of overcome those objections up front. They overcome the objections up front, and they're bigger than the objections. So people are more kind of sucked in by the story and what you're saying than their questions, their common objections. And I think that's the power of it's kind of like, this is the power of being consistent with this stuff, with this marketing in a niche, and learning everything about your target customer. It's like this. It's like walking into a foreign land with a group of 10 friends, and nobody, and it's a different language that everybody speaks, but you're the only one in the group that speaks the language, and you can communicate with the people and connect with them, and that how to get what you want, right? And get what you need. And that's the power of learning the vocabulary and the language of your target customer. And I think that having some copyright experience, you're aware of that, but now being in this niche of kind of the make money online business niche, you're learning it even more, and you're mastering it even very quickly. So tying that back into the original thing that I said, that you're having some luck, and you said that before we went live. Some of this is luck, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of it, again, is preparation that met opportunity. You're doing the research, you're doing the work, you're learning, and you're combining that now with a real live audience, and it's working. Go figure. It's working.
I know, it's crazy.
So that must feel good.
It does. And honestly, I'm really blessed that I had copywriting experience before I came in. And I mean, it was very brief. Like, I'd only been doing it for a few months, but it was still like, I learned what people wanted and like didn't like, because I would get feedback on it. But it was definitely very helpful, and I will attribute that a lot to my success. And I honestly, like, regardless of if you're going into affiliate marketing or drop shipping or website design, whatever you want to do, like, understand copywriting at least on a basic level. Like, then you'll know if the copy that you order is actually good or not, because copywriting is literally the key to selling. So that's my biggest piece of advice for people out there, is like, at least have a basis in copywriting and understand like what makes copy, like a piece of copy, good.
So do you have you done any study of any old OGs in the game, copywriters and stuff like that. Do you have any favorite copywriters or any copywriting books or anything that you kind of really are real kind of gems to you in terms of your kind of learning process over the last year or so?
I mean, so one of the first few people that I found was Alex Fasulo. I don't know if you've heard her name, but she works on Fiverr, and that's how I kind of like got interested in it.
I got you.
And she was kind of like my mentor with copywriting because she's been doing it for I think like 7 or 8 years now. She's young. She's in her 20s as well, but like she's been doing it for such a long time.
Wow.
So she was kind of like my guide with everything. And I still keep in contact with her and everything.
Did you say my God?
My guide.
Oh, I was like, your God, you mean your goddess?
Yes.
But I got you.
But yeah, I mean, she's probably the only one that I've really kind of like stuck with the information I've gotten with because like it's worked for me. It's worked. So that's why I've worked with it.
Fascinating. God, you've got so much to just do and learn. And I think what your story shows is the power of really like how much you can learn through taking action. It literally is. I mean, if you can combine that with reading or watching courses and then you can take action, that's more power to you. All of you guys and Olivia has said that she's done that. But the big piece here, the big secret is the getting it into action and learning and adjusting and tweaking as you go, and then using a community around you to bounce ideas back or use it for feedback or watch them and look at what they're doing and kind of, learn from others as well. So congratulations on that. Before we bring this in for a landing, if somebody was thinking about getting involved in Legendary kind of on that checkout page or something and trying to decide whether they, this was real, is this a scam? Is this going to help? Is this community valuable? What would you tell that person about getting involved with our community?
I'd say that you're very, very personable. And I think that's a huge key in taking any sort of online course or like being part of a team is that you want that personal experience. Like, I contacted Sean numerous times when I had problems with like converting from Builderall to ClickFunnels, vice versa, stuff like that. Like, it's very, very personable. And that's why I love being part of Legendary right now is because of that. And, everyone has their like preconceived thoughts when they go into like a checkout page and stuff like that. Even if it's just $7, it's like, oh, I don't want to get scammed on stuff. But like, you kind of just have to take that risk every once in a while and at least just go through the course and do it fully and apply those skills. And then if you feel like this is for you and you really want to go like forward with it, then keep investing in yourself because that's what I've been doing and it's worked out a lot for me. And that's my biggest tip for everyone is just never stop learning and never stop investing in yourself. Keep reading, keep taking extra courses, get mentors, stuff like that. I mean, I think people are afraid of the whole money aspect. Like when, like with the business blueprints, at least like the $2,500, like, yeah, when I first started, I could not afford that. But like thinking back on it, like I made like $3,000 my first month. I could have easily made that money back if I wanted to. So I don't know. I think people just need to be more open to taking risks. Like if you play it safe, you're never going to get anywhere.
Man, we could have, if we would have said, interestingly enough, Olivia, if we would have titled this, if you never take risks, you never get anywhere, we would have probably had half of the people who clicked on it, right, to view it, right? Because that headline is not as attractive as she got 150,000 followers in 30 days, right? But what you just said is like the most valuable thing, right? It's like you got to be willing to take risk. That's the definition of an entrepreneur. That's the definition of being in business. And I think that's the definition of like really living a fulfilling life. Like you got to be willing to go over and just, obviously it would be sexual harassment if you just kiss the girl, right? But at least go over and be like, hey,
yeah,
can I get your number? Can I take you out sometime? Like just that ask. And in business, it's like, yeah, like parting with that money that you feel like is just the only money that exists in the world and you're never going to get any more of it, right? We hold on to our paper, because like we're never going to get any more. This is mine, but man, like, it's like taking risk is life, man. That's like where all of our happiness and all of our growth comes from, is doing something that is scary or that is uncomfortable, right? And you're just doing that, and you're such a beautiful example of that. So thank you, and say hello to your wonderful and supportive boyfriend for us as well, who's got your back. What a guy. And I hope you'll come back and keep us updated and let us know, in the next month, we'll give you 3 months, right? See where the hell you are in 3 months. I can't even imagine, right?
I couldn't even imagine getting here. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah. All right, Olivia. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for just doing a fantastic job and being a great example for everybody and being so real with your experience and making it, reachable and attainable. And that's really important. And I know it's really valuable for everybody. So I know you're busy. I'm sure that to-do list that you've got sitting there is long, and this is.
Yeah, I get class in a few minutes, actually.
Okay. We'll let you go, Olivia. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right.
You too. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye. Look at that. She's got class. I mean, come on, people. I mean, what is going on? Like, golly, there was a quote that I heard that's always stuck with me, which is, you can have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both. You just can't have both. And life is full of those little two sides of the coin, the choices. Do you want excuses or do you want results? In every day, so many times we have to make that decision, and Olivia is clearly just so choosing results over excuses. And it's scary and it's not easy. And she said that, right? But, look at what can happen when you take those risks. And, yeah, it's not going to happen for everybody the same way. Like, I want to just remind everybody of that. Like, Olivia's journey is not going to look like yours. So don't beat yourself up. Don't shame yourself. Don't guilt yourself. Don't compare yourself. We just look at other people and we just we don't use them. They're inspiration to us. They're motivation. They're somebody who we can add to our network that we can learn from, right? But let all of these guests and these stories and these other students in our community who are having success, let them just be a shining light. Don't let them be a big dark cloud that makes you compare yourself and makes you feel bad about yourself. That's my greatest fear when we demonstrate big success stories, because everybody's journey is going to look different. But you can have results or you can have excuses. You just can't have both, right? And my hope for each one of you guys is that you'll choose to get results, and you'll choose to take risk, and you'll choose to get uncomfortable, because the payoff and the reward is so much better. Okay. So have a fantastic day. Get the hell out of here. I know you guys got stuff to do as well. God, I do too. Sheesh. See ya. Peace. See you tomorrow.